was having a drink with an American in Holland a while back, and he's sitting there, and we're both getting drunk, but I didn't need this stupid question to come out. He goes, "Oh, you're from Canada. You where?" And I said, "Nova Scotia." He goes, "Oh, I know a guy from BC. His name is John. Do you know him? Canada boy?" Well, I always like to indulge them. I go, "Oh yeah, John from BC. We live on the same street. It's called the Trans-Canada Highway. I don't get to see him much. He lives 7,000 kilometers up the other end. I'll let him know you said hi." I get quite proud of Canada, man. I like what we do. We don't care sometimes. We don't care about things that other people care about, you know? Like, we got to host a Live 8 concert. Yeah, woo, big time, big concert, you know? 8 really important concerts, actually. Well, there was more than 8, but it was called Live 8. It's a good thing there was more than 8, because we didn't really step up to the plate like everybody else. Every country took advantage of their Live 8 concert, put it in the major city. Joburg, Paris, Philadelphia, you know, so that you know that's where the Live 8 concert is, man. Where do we put ours? In Barrie. I love that, man. Woo! We're the only country that got to host the most important concert of the decade, and we made it sound like we just had it at some dude's house. Out in the woods somewhere. You going Live 8? Where is it at? It's at Barrie, son. Bring your own beer. Yeah, piss in the woods, toilet's busted, but it's always a good time at Barrie, son. It's good to see my mom, but she's one of those Canadian mothers that's always worried and backs up all her beliefs with fake statistics. You be careful in Toronto, you know, 2 people from the Maritimes get murdered in Toronto every year. And nobody's been killed yet this year. Think about that, young man. I've got a military father, too. Yeah. Woo. I didn't quite like hearing his tales, though. I like this Afghanistan, man. Our troops got set there in military green uniforms. I like that. For anybody who isn't aware of this, Afghanistan is kind of desert colored. Just as a rough guide. So our boys requested desert colored uniforms. The government said, "No. We're Canadian. Here's some desert colored paint." I think about that all the time. I think about our boys over in Afghanistan trying to stumble out of the choppers, stuck to each other from the heat. The Americans looking over at us. What the hell are the Canadians doing? Arts and crafts or something? There we were in the Afghan desert, dressed as bushes. And the Americans still killed 10 of us. I could get a coffee with my buddy, sit on a bench next to a good patch of black ice, and watch people wipe out all day. It's brilliant, man. Cool spectator sport. There was one dude, though, he was walking towards us, right? He's walking towards us, he's carrying some groceries, walking towards us, he got eye contact. He's like, hey, man, hey. Yeah. And then he hit the black ice, and it was one of those, like, he didn't go down. Like, I don't know if he had some sort of balance thing going, but the leg just came out. And you could and he was still sliding forward towards, and you could tell he was fighting to get it back in. it's not happening. And he's moving. And me and my buddy were like looking at him going, commit to the fall, dude. Just commit to the fall, man. You're gonna lose your groin or something. He's like gliding forward on the black ice, and the foot came up a bit, and he landed. It was awesome. What an awesome move, right? But after he landed, he didn't look at us anymore, right? And he knew that we were watching the whole thing. He should have just looked at him. I'm an idiot. Right? There was no acknowledgement or nothing. Instead, he just kept walking. But about 10 feet later, he threw in a... Like he was trying to, oh, that's the cool Toronto walk, you know? It's the way we all walk around here, man. Black ice is nothing. I got in trouble twice in Ottawa airport recently, and I really like the contrast between the two, because the first time was with Canadian security, and then the second time was with the Americans. That's really weird too. Canadian security, one little tiny Korean lady. That's it. American security, 4 massive pissed off dudes. I was trying to figure out why it's the Canadian airport. Why does the Canadians only have one little Korean lady working security? And I thought maybe she's a ninja, right? Maybe she lulls the terrorists into a false sense of security, and then she's able to kung fu them or something. I was going from Ottawa to Manchester in England. I had no business in the States, but I did have a 20-minute stopover. And because of this 20-minute stopover in Atlanta, I had to check into the American side of the airport. Now, thinking nothing of it, I went and bought a Canadian cheeseburger. Yeah, I had to get one, man. I was going to England. Their food is shit. So, I bought my Canadian cheeseburger, I put it in my bag, I put the bag through security, and I'm in the American departure lounge. I pulled out my cheeseburger, and that's when they flanked me, man. 4 massive pissed off dudes, right? And the leader leans over to me and goes, "What you got there, boy?" I was in a good mood, so I was like, it's a heart attack in a bun, man. Not having any of it. He goes, "Are you aware, son, that it is illegal to import beef into the United States of America?" I was like, oh, holy shit, dude. It's 1 cheeseburger. It's 20-minute stopover. I'm not even intending to have a shit in your country. Illegally import beef.
Hi there, everybody. Thank you for hanging out on my channel. I put together this little compilation of my old Canadian comedy special because I thought it would be fun to have a little selection of what I think are my most Canadian jokes from the recording. There is, of course, much more to some of these gags and stories, so if you want to watch the whole special, it's live on my YouTube channel. And if I made you snicker, at least, please give me a like and a follow. Every click and comment helps me continue to build this channel. You know, I get like 5 cents for every 1,000 views or something. So hey, cheers, and have a good time in the meantime.